Hello, friends. Week 19. Crazy, hard to believe, but another week has gone by, and I have been following Bashar's formula for 19 weeks now. And here is a quick recap of my week. So it went great. Couple challenges, but overall, really good week. Some things I'm grateful for. Number one, I have an amazing, supportive working environment. My coworkers are really nice people, and I love talking to them. My boss is very supportive and understanding and helpful, and also I feel like I get paid well for the job that I do, and I get all the holidays off and the summer off. So anyway, it's amazing and I love it. So I'm grateful for that. I'm also grateful for my health and my family's health. It's really super since I'm in my 50s, I don't have any medical problems, and I am overall, maybe a little bit overweight, but besides that, I'm in very good health. And also, my kids and my grandkids are all healthy, so very thankful for those things. Another thing I'm thankful for is 36 years with my oldest daughter. So she just celebrated her 36th birthday, and I'm so lucky to be living near her and be able to celebrate with her. So that was fantastic. So something that happened this week. Some positive notes for this week. My nutrition and workout plan that I had told you guys about last week, those have been successful. I'm still kind of tweaking some things, but overall I have walked, done at least a 30-minute walk most days this week. And also I am increasing my weights on my strength training plan and trying to get up to 3 sets of each exercise. The other thing that I think is positive is I've been increasing my protein to about 150 grams a day, which it takes a little bit to do. You actually have to be very mindful about what you're eating and make choices based on protein, like prioritize protein. So I've been doing that. So I'm hoping that, I'll be able to build some muscle and lose some fat, and also just like feel better and be in better physical shape too with that. So that's been going really well. And as far as challenges this week, I feel like work was a little bit challenging this week. One of the main reasons why is because and I'm just going to blame myself for it. I feel like I'm not really designing lessons that are challenging enough, and not challenging enough. That's not the right word for it. I'm not really designing lessons that are engaging enough, and that's the one thing I want to get better at and to spend more time at, because students are talking a lot. They're not really focused on the lesson. And so this week I was trying to help a young lady focus on the lesson, and I said a couple of things that were meant. I had the best intentions in mind, but she took them the wrong way. And that's the most important thing, is like how, somebody else takes it. You could have the best intentions with what you're saying, but if they perceive it a different way, and it hurts their feelings, then that communication did not go as it should. So I had to reflect on that and think about what it is that I said and how I said it. And I realized at the end that I could have said it differently. But in the end, she went home and told her mother like half of the story about what happened, and not really the full story. And the way that she told it made me sound terrible. And her mother was really upset with me and sent me kind of a little nasty message that I responded back and apologized for what I said and tried to make amends, but she just wasn't hearing it. And she said that she wanted to have a parent-teacher conference, and so I wrote her back and said I'd be happy to meet with you. And then I talked to my boss about it, and she was really supportive, and I told her the whole story. And anyway, to make a long story short, I exchanged messages with this parent a couple of different times, and the parent ended up not meeting me for a parent-teacher conference. But I think that she was probably still upset. And then I had to kind of question myself, like, why am I seeing this reflection from this parent? Because I normally don't have negative, I have in the past, like, I've been teaching for almost 30 years, or maybe it is 30 years, I can't remember. Anyway, I've had parents who have been upset with me in the past, but it's something that doesn't happen very often. And I'm also, and, I feel like I am in a positive state a lot of the time. So I just had to ask myself, like, why am I seeing this? Is this about me and about something that I'm doing? Am I seeing a reflection in my students to kind of give me a message about something that I need to work on? Or is this more about the other student and then the other parent, and maybe I am playing a role in something that either the student or the parent needs to experience in their life? And it could be a little bit of both, but what I have determined is that I need to spend more time making the lessons more engaging and not focusing so much on the negative aspects. So working with 80 middle schoolers is challenging. They are going through hormonal changes. They care about fitting in. Also, they may not be all be having their basic needs met at home, as far as like having appropriate nutrition, or having parents at home who love them. They may not be getting enough sleep. There's just so many different factors that I don't really have control over. But I can do a better job of focusing on positives, because there are so many kids that really want to learn, and they are doing such a good job of focusing and attending. And then as far as my instruction, I know and I have proven to myself that I can still address the standards and also make it very engaging for the students. So I'm going to switch things up and just put more time into designing lessons that, number one, I want to challenge the students, but also I want to keep them engaged, and I want to do different activities that address their learning styles and also their varying degrees of interest. So yes, that's challenging. However, I'm up for the challenge, and I love that. I love designing lessons. So it's a win-win-win. Everybody wins with that. But the big takeaway is focusing more on the positive and not letting it get to me so much whenever a couple of students are having a bad day and they're kind of ruining it for everyone. So not really giving them the attention, but giving the students that are making good choices, giving them more of my attention and my focus. So that goes along with Bashar's teachings and what he says as far as when you get a negative reflection, or a reflection from someone. It's up to me whether or not I want to label it as either negative or positive, because there is not really, life doesn't really necessarily have any meaning. I choose to give it the meaning that I prefer to give it. So the meaning that I'm preferring to give this interaction with the student and the parent is a meaning of just a reminder that I need to be more focused on positives, and I also need to be more focused on designing engaging lessons that minimize like behavior and distractions and things like that. The other, I guess, thing that Bashar talks about is designing lessons that allow students to experience the consequences of their choices. And I can really build that into my disciplining and the way that I administer consequences in my classroom. And to find out what they're interested in and tailor lessons around that. There's, like I said, 80 students, so they're going to be interested in a lot of different things. But I feel like if I can vary it and address the different learning styles, then that would be a good start to making sure that at least once or twice a week, someone gets a lesson that they're very interested in or engaged in. And overall, that was my week and my challenges. I did manage to stay in a positive state most of the time. I mean, you kind of take the hit from it whenever somebody says something negative, However, I didn't stay in that state. I wasn't hard on myself. Like after I realized that I made a mistake in the way that I said what I said, um, after I realized that, I didn't, I just forgave myself like, oh, wow, I could have done better than that. I could have said it differently. And I'm sorry that I didn't, and also making amends to the parent and the student, apologizing for that, but not beating myself up over it, because overall, I did have good intentions. I am doing a good job. I am trying to improve, improve my teaching. I am trying to help students. So I think my intentions are really good. Um, Things that I want to work on this week would be or in the upcoming week, I want to continue my nutrition and exercise plan. I want to find some meals that I enjoy eating, because I found that by the end of the week, I was just trying, like, going through the motions, just trying to get my protein in. And I know that that's not really sustainable long term. So I want to like try out some different recipes so I can have some meals that I'm looking forward to eating. So that's one of the goals for the upcoming week. And then another goal would be to get more caught up on my videos on the YouTube channel. So I only have a couple of videos posted, and I have been doing great, staying with my commitment to do a video every week, but I haven't been posting them every week. So I want to get caught up with that. So creative meals, being more disciplined with my uploading the videos, something I want to work on this week. And I feel like there was something else. I think those two things will probably be good challenges. I'm sure there'll be something else that kind of pops up this week for me to work on as well. But I'm enjoying the process. I know that, like Bashar says, the process is the point. It's about living your life and not being in a bubble, realizing that you are going to have things pop up in your life that could be construed by you as being negative if you choose to look at it that way. Or you can also just acknowledge too, like, this thing happened to me. It's not my preference. And it's maybe it's a negative thing that happened, but how do you want to use it? That's the point. If something negative shows up and you use it in a positive way and realize that it's there to serve you, then you'll get a positive result. So moving forward this week, there will likely be things, at least one or two, that will pop up for me. And I am just trying to keep Bashar's formula in my mind as much as possible, following my excitement, questioning my beliefs, and not being insistent on things happening a certain way, being more like open and flexible with my life. So it's all good. I hope that you will consider joining me if you haven't already, as I apply Bashar's formula to my life. And I hope that you will get something positive out of this video, and maybe consider sharing some of your experiences with Bashar's teaching as well. And what kind of reflections are you seeing, and how are you dealing with those challenges that come up? And that's all for this week. I'll go ahead and close. Aveo Friends.